welcome! It's devstream 163. We're back.
And we're treating his release a little differently. So what we're gonna do is, for the launch of Veilbreaker, if you log in to the first 2 weeks of the update, so it's gonna come out in September, you'll know the date, and from that date, when we announce it, you can get Hoplite, Styanax, off to a good start, Styanax completely free just for logging in.
Yep.
After that point, he'll be in the usual spots in the market for Platinum, or where you actually earn him in-game, which we'll talk about later, or in the Liverian itself, so they complement each other really nicely, so if you're in, I know, I just need to watch this, it's so good. Anyway, so.
He's kind of interesting. I felt like when I saw the model, like there was something about it that felt kind of classic Warframe in a way. You know, the fact that the legs are human legs, the arms are human arms. Oh, yeah.
By the way, this is coming with Veilbreaker, and it's pre-processing. That's
So essentially, if you hit twice with a 50%, you'll strip 100% on all armor stripping abilities that are percent based. I mentioned percent based because, for example, Mag is not percent based. She's like a fixed amount. So that one didn't change. It's only the percent ones that are changed.
It's going to have a small quest that introduces you to the future of Veilbreaking. So if you've played the New War, you kind of can get the idea of where did the world state leave off after everything that happened in the New War. And Veilbreaker is the update that speaks to that, introduces new systems and things for you to play that speak to what state things might be.
I did, the speed buff is actually higher now, a little bit. I don't remember the number. What?
You're increasing Volt's speed buff?
Yeah.
You're gonna get your ribbon, and it is going to stack, and it is going to be basically a secret. You're gonna obviously know what weapon to put it on so that you can equip it. As you can see, it kind of goes by a little fast, but as soon as you equip that ribbon onto that weapon, it unveils it, you can see what the actual challenge is, and then it counts towards your ribbon capacity. So you can just keep earning ribbons and not equipping it and knowing what it's for, and it doesn't stack towards that capacity you have.
Basically, as you guys know, AoE has been pretty dominant for a little while, particularly given some of the changes that we made in the past, such as removing the self-damage. That's one of the ones that really kind of boosted up things, because now that there's no, you know, obviously in hindsight, we can see now that actual functionality was doing quite a bit of work on maintaining the usage of AoE under control. And that control has been gone for a while. So the first thought is like, okay, well, why are we changing it? What reasons do we have? So we generally look at, there's many things to look at whenever we decide to make a change, but there's three that generally do me pretty well for almost any gameplay thing that I'm looking at. One is looking at how automated is it? You know, is it something that you're actually playing? Is it something that you can kind of not play and ignore? And for this, we actually have some
We have
videos.
footage of how we play right now.
Live for the live build. We have AoE footage.
Yeah, this is live build footage of how, I think there's a few, this is showing the fact that there's no consequence to using it. Well, there's a few things being shown here.
Yeah, essentially you can run through a mission like this, kind of shooting a rocket at your feet, murdering everything in a long range. You never run out of ammo. You never suffer much damage. It's very, very. I wouldn't say it's automated, but I would give it a half a point for automated.
We can take a look at full automation with the second AoE video.
Yeah, the second AoE is a little more. Yeah, so there's this one. This one basically, we had one of the testers try this, and he stayed there several minutes. Never ran out of energy. Never ran out of ammo. Never died. Like he could even collect enough. Survival thingy from just standing there doing essentially nothing. So the second one is dominance, and we've done this before, for example, with Catchmoon, when weapons become so overwhelmingly dominant that you basically have almost no choice but to use them. If you use anything else, you almost feel like you're playing wrong, because what's going to compete with what you're seeing on screen, right? Like it's just, you're just devastating entire rooms without.
For our co-op game, the most important, are you disrupting other players?
Yeah, and that comes down to like how disruptive is your gameplay to other players that might join you. Because at the end of the day, this is a co-op game. We need to like we need to try and keep the game fun for everyone, and so make it so that one player cannot kind of quote unquote ruin it for the rest. I think a great example of this is when we made changes to Limbo. The problem wasn't really that the Limbo was too strong or that Limbo was whatever. It was mostly that whenever a player was playing with old Limbo, it was just annoying to play with the old Limbo because he would just freeze the enemies, you couldn't shoot them. Limbo could really ruin the game for you.
Yeah, rest in peace. My JoJo frame. It's fine. We move on.
And I think it's similar for this. We don't generally see players asking us to nerf things. It's very, very unusual. But we are seeing it quite a bit with AoE. I'm sure you've seen it on forums and Reddit and Twitter. This is one of the, I can't even remember another thing I've been asked to nerf in DMs before. But this one is one, because it is making the game less fun for other players that want to try other gameplay styles. This one has become so dominant that you just cannot really coexist with it.
What are we actually doing?
Those are our whys. Now what are we doing? We try to approach this in a kind of holistic way. So this is gonna be kind of complicated because I'm gonna come at it from many different angles. We're not doing I don't think any of these changes on their own are huge. They're like small changes all over the place. So let me start with ammo. So ammo, we're already working on changing.
We're adding Void Fissure Steel Path missions, so you can actually do your Lith Relics at a higher difficulty. And you'll also get Steel Essence for it, and the usual Steel Path things. And we are adding a new ephemera as well, so we'll have the Fog of War ephemera. So this will be one, which again,
that's correct.
Scal,
Yes.
Styanax, Nova, and Wukong will get Void Shells for Veilbreaker.
And Deluxe, the Calidris.
That's the host's job. Don't
I'm just
look at
wondering
me.
about how you pronounce it.
None of my business.
I pronounce it. The Deluxe Collection, Calidrius. This is coming with Veilbreaker.
Also coming in Veilbreaker.
Finally. Oh,
Wow, that is beautiful.
Wow.
There we
Carrie,
go.
out of 10, what is it?
It just gives us our team more tools to make a lot of varied materials, and obviously this skin in particular is a good example of that.
Nothing goes wrong with layer transparency.
First system pertains specifically to this character you see here. You may know him as Call, and he's going to have, he has a purpose, and he has a goal after the New War and everything that happened. So you'll be experiencing a once-a-week narrative from his perspective of what he wants to do, and you'll be sort of cycling through that. Once a week there will be something for you to play. We're going to rotate through, I think we're starting with 3, so 3 weeks you'll be going through, and every time you play one, perhaps he's going to gain a following, or his mission is going to, push further. So this area that you see here will grow. You'll meet some people. You may wonder who Chipper is. This is a never before seen person that might have aligned goals. And Call is here. Call is waiting. And of course, like any fun system we have.
For near army, Call only get one uniform.
Yeah, Call is here to. You can do some things to make your Call look the way he would, and then you can go out and play your Call weekly mission, and then very important part of anyone that's undergone extreme trauma in terms of bringing it back with style is eye patches.
Oh.
So we have some concepts as well that we're going to show here that undertake what just the different level of customizations that Call will have. So I think we have an eye patch asset, Dean perhaps. Did we lose Dean to the long dev stream? No. All right. But yeah, so of course, if you want to get your Metal Gear Solid kicks in, we have the perfect
That was a firm request from somebody.
That's
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yes. Who could that be?
We don't know. We'll never know.
Shall remain
Right. Mystery
anonymous.
request, yes.
Mystery request for the coolest eye patches you can have. But yeah, you can really make your Call your own, and he has a purpose, a mission, and that'll all be unveiled in Unveiled. Oh god.
Oh.
There it is. I was waiting for that moment.
Yes.
Goodness.
So we'll take a small clip of a dev build gameplay just to give people a look into what Call might be going through. So this is dev build whips, but Call has found himself somewhere that you might recognize. He managed to get a jetpack, and he must free his brother here. So this whole fiction and everywhere you're going to go with Call is going to involve what is he going to do against the sentience. And what can he, as one Grineer alone, do? Well, as he rescues his brothers, he'll find that he has the power to command them and get them to do different things. Carrie, your art sensibilities are going to tingle because I'm actually showing something placeholder here, but there's secrets and little things that you're going to want to uncover to push that Call weekly mission forward so you can earn things to shop in, maybe this new character back over here on the gameplay side. This character on my screen here, Dean, might have some things for you to grab week over week, depending on how far you advance. Every time you do a Call weekly, you'll push the Call garrison forward, and this is where Styanax will be for the free path once we're done with his campaign, and once we're done, you don't get it for free for those 2 weeks anymore. Styanax will be here. We'll have cosmetics for Call in here, and we're going to have a couple other things that we're going to talk about because. Of course, once you've actually, you can see my ship there. It doesn't really fit, but I think
it does not fit, but it looks cute.
It's cute. Once Call has his veil breaking quest resolved, he found some intel, and he might know something that you don't from a different perspective. And it's for that reason that we're going to introduce Archon hunts, which essentially, once you've got the quest complete, which is a shorter quest for Veilbreaker, you're going to unlock something called Archon Hunts. And these are a weekly system for players that every week you're going to get the intel on a new Archon that has a new, tweaked look for the post-New War world. And there's going to be new lore and new stakes for you as a player to go through these. You'll hear from some characters. Maybe I have a voice recording session Monday. Who's to say how much is there? And then you're going to do a mission in this section of gameplay content that will always amount to a showdown with an Archon. And these are our version of content that we really want you to think about what loadout you're going to bring and how you're going to play it in a co-op setting. So we have some restrictions just to change it up. These are weekly, so if you can't do it the first day, you have all week to try and, refine your build, whatever troubles you're having. Maybe you get a squad to help you. But you'll get bonuses for certain gear, and then there's also restrictions where respawns, you can't self-revive. Really, co-op reviving is the only way to stay alive. So if you get down, you better hope you're sticking with your squad so that you can all stay together, advance together through the mission. And then consumables, similar to Steel Path, they have a cooldown. So same idea as Steel Path. These are weekly, and then they end with that fight against the given Archon of the week. You can absolutely do them solo. It doesn't have to be co-op, but as with all things in our game, totally possible solo, but
they are tough. They are meant to be tough missions. Yeah. So, okay. So
players. So every week, if you do your Archon hunt, you will earn the corresponding Archon shard, which when you're done the quest, you'll have the necessary equipment to use it, which means that your helmet is getting more use. And Archon shards as a system are an upgrade system for a given warframe. So you can use your Azure shard, or if you're lucky, you have a 20% chance to get a Tau forged one. And your Archon shards will be installed in a given warframe. You have 5 shard slots, which you can put your shards in. So for me, I have my Protea here, who I love dearly. And Pablo, if you want to talk a bit more about the system, feel free.
Yeah, essentially it's a way to kind of focus on like the frames that you really want to buff even more, the ones you want to take to the very extreme. Basically, you can select from 3 different crystals, and they have the Tau Forge versions, which are a little stronger. So you can select them, and then from that it'll give you a selection between different buffs that you can get from those gems. So in this case, you can increase the health of your Protea, you can give them some shield. As you can see, the Tau Forge gives it a little extra bonus, some more energy. Essentially, you can kind of oomph your preferred frames to get them. And also the gems, the shards, if you decide to, they can be moved. So you're not like fully committed. You can take them out using basically helmet resources.
Yeah, and just to be clear, these are permanent stat upgrades that your given warframe would have. So if I love my Protea and I did my weekly Archon hunts, I can now permanently increase a specific stat depending on which shard I have. So as you fight Amar, you'll get the Crimson shards from Amar, you'll get the Amber shards from Nira, and you'll get the Azure shards from Boreal. And these are permanent stats that you can apply to a given warframe. So.
Yeah. And generally speaking, the red one is offensive stuff, or attack stuff. Then the yellow is utility, and then the blue is, well, what you're seeing here, which is more on the defensive side of things.
So you have a limit of 5 Archon shard slots per frame, and you can put them in. So you'll be earning these at the rate of 1 a week, and you'll be able to kind of decide which frame you really want to invest in. And do they stack? So if I had 5 blue shards, or Azure shards in this case, I could put 5 all for armor.
Yeah. So spoiling a little bit from the yellow, for example, the yellow you can get extra bonus from energy pickups. So if you put 5 of those, you can almost replace Energize with that. So you basically could kind of free up your arcane slot, and basically you can kind of pick and choose which frame you want to go with, the ones that are attack based, which ones would you want to go utility, which ones you prefer defense.
Yeah, removing a shard doesn't destroy it. So say in the case of a frame that doesn't have a prime, if you've put all these shards in that frame and the prime comes out, you'll be able to get it back. There will be a little bit of friction. Right now it's using a Helminth resource, so that's still under review for what we're going to do there. But we know that people who have invested in frames might want to change their mind. So we are going to let you move those around.
Yep. And the only other note is, well, I don't know if I say this, but in Castor we were also talking about.
Yeah. So there will be shards available. It's not just through the weekly Archon hunts where you're going to be doing that final boss fight with an Archon to take their shard, but Call might have got 1 or 2 things up his sleeve. So you can kind of engage with both systems to get yourself those particular upgrades. Yeah. So
I think.
Can we say when we're planning to release Aku Deluxe? Do you know?
I think I know. Am I allowed to say?
Why not?
I think the last time, the last conversations we had in our internal trackers were maybe
No, that's for internal, I think.
Is that for internal?
Yeah, I think that's
So that would be probably
say whatever you want. It's a dev stream. There's no rules.
Ask for forgiveness, not permission. Go.
Yeah.
It's not coming out in October.
I don't think it's coming in October, but it's they're well on their way. I think now, so they're in really good hands, and. Can we say it before the end of the year? Probably not, right?
Hell yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, it's
anything can happen.
There's another significant update that would be coming out this year that this might go with.